Hi, we're Russell and Amanda. Join us as we travel from the Isle of Skye to John O'Groats. An early retirement gave us the opportunity to explore England, Wales, Ireland and Scotland. In this episode, we explore Dunvegan Castle, wander through the colourful harbour town of Portree, cross the Skye Bridge and journey through to Inverness, Wick and finally John O'Groats, the northern tip of Scotland. Expect epic Highland scenery, fascinating Scottish history and real campervan life on the road. Last episode, we left you at Kinloch campsite at the top of the Isle of Skye. We're just heading over to the Dunvegan Castle to check it out. We're just cruising. We welcome you along for the ride.
Might be one besides quite lucky. So we've just seen the castle. It is actually the only castle on the Isle of Skye that is inhabited, so we thought we'd check it out. The first chief of Clan MacLeod started work on Dunvegan Castle in the 13th century. Today the castle is still lived in by his direct descendant Hugh MacLeod, 30th chief of Clan MacLeod.
Inside, centuries of clan treasures and portraits tell stories of loyalty, battles and survival. Part of the castle was closed off to the public and used exclusively by the current owner, but there are still plenty of rooms to explore. These are beautifully furnished, which takes you back to a time in history when Scotland's rugged spirit and history made the country into the place to be proud of. A serious fire broke out in the south wing of Dunvegan Castle in November 1938. Although the rest of the castle was spared extensive damage, the south wing was gutted and major repair work was needed. The MacLeod clan family's history is woven into the very fabric of the Highlands. Their castle, perched above the shimmering waters of Loch Dunvegan, offers stunning views of the water where seals and seabirds make their home. Such an incredible location to experience the very nature of Skye.
Portree or Portree? Portree, I don't know which one it is. Recycling centre. So go right, is it? Round, or no entry? Okay. Maybe just go back to that long stay one more and walk.
I think so.
Looks quite a cool place to poke around for an hour or so, does it?
Yeah, does look quite good. What a nice place to stay.
Yeah, it does.
We'll need to read the signs, but we may be able to stay here, but we may not want to anyway. But we're just going to have a wander through town.
Portree is the main town on the Isle of Skye in Scotland, famous for its colourful harbour lined with fishing boats and sea views. The name Portree comes from the Gaelic term Portree, meaning the King's Port, after a visit of King James V in 1540. The town has a deep connection with Jacobite story, including the famous goodbye between Bonnie Prince Charlie and Flora MacDonald in 1746. Today, Portree is the perfect base for exploring Skye's dramatic landscapes. Visitors love its lively arts scene, cosy pubs and fresh seafood straight from the local waters. How much?
$2.15, $1.65. It's $4.75, but it's a lot more land. That one looks kind of pretty well done for $1.95. Semi-detached, 3 bedrooms, carport.
We're continuing our journey down through the Isle of Skye, and we're going to stop at Skye. We actually came past here on the way up, but it was raining heavily and never really had a good chance to have a look around. There's heaps of campers on the road, and this is one of the campsites you can stay.
There's a historic bridge here, and I think there's also ferry pools, but you've got to walk away up to the ferry pools. I'm just going to have a wander around with the camera and just have a look locally here.
And we found out that this is called the River Sliarkin. And everything around it's got that name. So
I think Amanda's thinking of staying inside the camper, are you?
yeah, I think I'll just guard the
You're going to guard the camper.
guard the fort.
There's a monument over here, so we'll just go and have a look to see who it is and have a look around the mountains.
The monument here celebrates the two trailblazing mountaineers, John Mackenzie, born in 1856, and Norman Colley, born in 1859. Gazing out over the mountains they helped unlock. They made the first serious ascents in the area, mapping the peaks and guiding climbers when the hills were wild and remote. So we're back on the road, and it's time to bid farewell to Skye after our stay at Kinloch campsite last night. If you're a walking or climbing enthusiast, Skye is a must-visit destination. Even though the rain tried its best, it could not dampen the beauty of the mountains and the coastline we've experienced over the last 2 days. In our previous episode, you will see that we crossed over to Skye on the Mayleg Armadale ferry, but this time we'll be crossing back over to mainland Scotland using the Skye Bridge to continue our adventure.
Bridal train will be taken. Nature gave a new name. Source to nurture the world. Ready, sing a new tune. Weight of it all won't get me down.
That's enough for today. We're going to stop at a little ear. It's probably the equivalent to a pop in New Zealand. So parking for self-contained motorhomes and camper vans, maximum stay 48 hours, waste and water facilities to use by all paying customers. Parking 15, pay here or
You
online.
put cash in that box.
Oh, that's quite cool on the step box.
Yeah.
That will do us. Perfect.
I look, they've even got them marked out, the spots, which is quite good.
Yeah. There we go. Get on the mountains.
Beautifully quiet night. There was about 5 or 6 others of us here. We just came off the bridge from Skye and it was about 8 miles down the road, so very nice. We're now heading to Inverness and we've marked out a spot there and we're going to see what we can see on the way.
It was good, just a single one-night stopover. There's been a few people popping in and out of here to do their dump of their waste and get new water, and 70 mile to go up to Inverness. Not quite knowing again where we're going to be staying.
When you don't plan your journey, you always get pleasant surprises. We only went along the road a little bit and come across the Eilean Donan Castle.
We're going to see if we can get a park in here. Maybe impossible feat, but we'll try.
Also go on the gate.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a side car. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Right there.
Right there. Yeah, £3 for the car park. We plan to stay about half an hour. You couldn't put in anything less, so.
We're planning a bigger journey today and we don't have too much time for stopovers. This will have to be pretty good if we're going to pay to go through it.
Well, ticket prices are okay, but to be honest, we've been through a few castles. Amanda's not over keen, and there's heaps and heaps of people here. I think we will give this one a miss. I'm sure it's a wonderful castle, but just look at it from the outside, it's so satisfying. Absolutely beautiful sitting on the side of the loch.
The drive from Eilean Donan Castle up to Inverness was incredibly scenic. We followed the A87 and the A82 along sweeping mountain valleys and lochs that are truly stunning. As you approach Inverness, the landscape softens to rolling hills and forests. It's about a 2-hour journey that was Highlands driving at its best.
We've just come in to see what Dave's Rest was like. Got an old bus for entertainment and all sorts of things.
I got us lost going up the hill, so
I had to take over the GPS on Amanda. She sent me up a goat track.
there's chairs there. Wouldn't mind sitting out on if we can take that one. There's the
I was
water.
trying to
Find the level section. Do you want to sleep on that angle?
Where's that over there? Down there beside the tractor then, yeah.
Yeah, but there's something there. These ones are the level ones.
What about that one there?
There's by that tree and the wire.
After that came a van shuffle and trying to find a level spot. We decided it was too far from town to get in with no public transport handy.
So we're going to go up around the start of this NC 500 so we can go up to John O'Groats. I don't want to be going up there tonight, so we've found a spot about 10 mile up the road beside a yacht club that we're going to stay at tonight. But we have to go back through Inverness on our journey in another few days' time, so depending on how long we spend up here. We're just about to go over quite a long bridge. Not quite sure what the name of the inlet or river is, but it's a biggie. I'll turn you around so you can see it.
You can just see Inverness that we're leaving over on your left. It was not long after this bridge that we crossed another one.
It's the Cromarty Bridge. Cromarty.
We're going to try and go up to John O'Groats, which is just over 100 miles from here. And if the road's too busy and it's too hard, just turn back to Inverness. If it's an enjoyable drive and pleasant, we might go right round.
Here we are with our morning routine, cup of tea and toast. We're just getting ready to head off today, destination John O'Groats. I'm going to go from one end of the UK to the other, so it's a bit windy out there, but hopefully we'll make it, and the parking looks a bit cheaper than Land's End.
The boating club was just down from the town of Inverness, and there's these oil drilling rigs that they had here for servicing, I'm guessing, before they go out into the North Sea.
Well, we've got blue sky one way and we've got rain and clouds the other, so you just got to take what you get because we're heading towards the rain and the clouds.
It's quite nice here.
It's quite nice.
These little Scottish seaside towns are quite quaint. Who might stay in one on the way back down?
We just stopped at the River Bothy tea rooms on the way up. Quite a pleasant drive along beside the sea, really. We're enjoying it.
Just a bit of a drive on from here, just enjoying the coastline. We saw Helmsdale on the way up, which had a good wee camping spot, so I think we'll come back to that. But we're going to pop into Dunbeath and have a wee stop there, look around.
Dreaming now, the sun is on the rise. And by the end of the day, this dusty room will be 1,000 miles away. Once heard it said in a song, best keep to traveling on. Ride 10 deep into town. Another night of setting up and breaking down. And if we leave here tonight, we'll be halfway to Barstow by daylight. I'll take the wheel if you start to yawn. just keep to traveling on.
We're just going through Wick. It looks quite big. Beautiful houses lining each side of the street. We've just passed Little as well. We've got that here, and we're coming up to the town centre.
The roads up this east coast to John O'Groats have been quite wide, really, and we'll probably come back here to Wick. I think it's a pretty big, substantial town, and looks like it's worth a stop.
Follow A99 High Street towards John O'Groats for 3 miles.
After Wick, we managed to stop once or twice on the side of the road and get a few shots of the landscape and the houses in the area. Quite beautiful. Really start to appreciate Scotland in this form.
Here it is here, parking. All these little motorhome parks. Yeah, the second one in's free.
They're not very wide, they're Campervan parks. Look at this parking though.
Yeah. Taken over 2.
No, 1, 2, 3. These in three parts.
Yeah.
John O'Groats takes his name from John Groat, a merchant who was granted the franchise to set up a ferry from Caithness to Orkney Islands by King James IV of Scotland in 1496. The Groat family continued to operate the ferry for 250 years. The ferry house inn became disused in 1750 when the ferry station was relocated to Hana. There are still many Groat descendants living in the north of Scotland. And look at that, special mention of New Zealand and Bluff, 12,875 miles away. But we made it here. It's been a great journey up through the UK, finally here in Scotland, and at not quite the top, but the most accessible point at the top of Scotland, watching the otters and the seals in the water. Anyway, we're going to find a place to stay for the night, so we're going to head back to Wick, we think. So here's just a few more shots before we leave of what it looks like at John O'Groats.
We're just leaving John O'Groats, so we've done Land's End to John O'Groats. They're both sort of quite similar. Land's End had the more buildings and a wee town, but there was a pretty cute hotel, and they created nice cafes and hot chips and stuff, all the things that warm our hearts. So we're pleased we've come, and we're now heading back to Wick.
So there we are, the advantage of this car park. Looks a terrible place to stay, but there we are, there's town right by the Campervan. So, you know, winner winner.
Beautifully available.
Press the plus for board time.
Okay.
There we are. So that's the third,
5.
that's the fourth, 3 a.m. in the morning.
That'll be. Oh, that's the
15, that's 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah. Sure it doesn't blow away.
And while I previously said it was a terrible place to stay, it's not a bad outlook looking over the harbour. We're going to take a quick stroll around Wick and see what the town's about, but this will be the end of this episode. Thanks very much for coming along on our journey. Don't forget to click on that like button, that helps us. And if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and click the subscribe button. We'll catch you next fortnight. Click on the round logo here, or you can watch our playlist of our whole series, going from the bottom of England through Wales, over into Ireland and back over into Scotland.